Prabhupada. This is Preeti Vilasi from Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you, Anjana Gopika Mataji, for that very beautiful recitation of the Bhagavad Gita. And thank you, Anita Mataji, for always being there and coordinating the class. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Preeti Vilasini Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call, and thank you so much for all your services, and thank you so much for giving us also the opportunity, Mataji. Hare Bol. Anyone else who would like to introduce
Hare
themselves?
Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashamati Priya Devidasi from Chicago, and thank you Anjana Gopika Mataji for recitation very beautifully.
Hare Krishna, Yashomati Priya Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call every single day and giving us your association. Very nice to see you on the call every day, and very appreciative about your sincerity also, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji, and Pranam to you and all Vaishnav. Till Prabhupada, till Gurudev Ki Jai, Vrinda from Atlanta, Paniyati down.
Hare Krishna, Vrinda Gopika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every day and giving us your association. And I really get inspired of your sincere hearing about the classes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj and Gauranga. All glories to all the assembled devotees on the call. This is Harita from Missouri City, Texas, Mataji, and Anjana Gopika Mataji. That was very beautiful recitation, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Harita Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving us your association. Hare Krishna. Anyone else who would like to introduce themselves?
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji, and Pranam to you and all Vaishnava. Without Bhakti Sangha, all teachers association, all brahmacharis and all counselors association not able to do attentively chanting. Koti Koti Danvat Pranam to all Bhakti Sangha teachers. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev Ki Jai, Gopinath Ki Jai.
Hari Hari Bol. Yes, Mataji. With Bhakti Sangha, we are all having that opportunity to have the association of all the sincere and wonderful and beautiful and what more very nice devotees all over from all over the world, and very much thankful to all the teachers of Bhakti Sangha, Mataji, as you said. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I once again welcome all of you to this Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. Mataji, we shall read the Prabhupada quote. I once again welcome all of you to this Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. So today we will be moving on to our next session, that is Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat. But before moving on to the session, I would like to read a Prabhupada's quote for today. New York, May 20, 1966, Prabhupada has written, "We are in so many ways indebted. Our obligations are there, but if one surrenders fully unto Krishna, then he is no longer any more indebted to all these obligations. He is immune. At one stroke, he becomes liquidated from all obligation. Krishna is Mukunda. Mukunda means one who can offer your liberation from this material bondage." Hari Bol. Mukunda means one who can offer you liberation from this material bondage. Wow. Very nice quote of Prabhupada. So we are really very thankful and indebted to Prabhupada also. And because of him, we are here all together from all over the world. Hare Krishna. So anyone else who would like to read, would like to introduce themselves? Otherwise, we can chant till Prabhuji comes. Hare Krishna. Yes, Sumi Mataji, do you want to introduce yourself? Hare Krishna Sumi Mataji. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I once again welcome all of you to this Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. So today we will be moving on to our next session, that is Sri Caitanya Bhagavata, which will be given by His Grace Ramgiridhari Prabhu, and it is on Madhya Khanda, chapter 25, verses from 85 to 93. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for giving us your valuable time and association. And over to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrindam. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrindam. So we are discussing from the chapter 25 of Madhya Khanda, the discourse on spiritual knowledge by Srivasa's dead son. Text 85 through 93. So almost we are ending the entire chapter. So we will read the verses and then discuss. हे नमते नवद्वीपे श्री गौर सुंदरा विहारये संकीर्तन सुखे निरंतरा. In this way, Sri Gaura Sundara continually enjoyed happiness of Sankirtana in Navadvip. Prema rase prabhura samsara nahi surem anyera kidaya Vishnu pujite na pare. The Lord relished the mellows of ecstatic love and had no interest in family affairs. What to speak of other duties, he could not even worship Lord Vishnu. Text 87. Snana kari vase Prabhu Sri Vishnu pujite prema jale sakalashi angavastrapite. When he sat down to worship Lord Vishnu after taking bath, his clothing and entire body became soaked with tears of ecstatic love. Bahirahaya Prabhu se vastra chadiyam punahanya vastra pari Vishnu puje dhyam. He would then go out, change his clothes and return to worship Vishnu. Punah premananda jale tite sevashanah punam bahirayanga kare prakshalanam. Then his clothes would again become soaked with tears of love and he would again go out and clean himself. Yei mata vastra parivatra kare matra preme Vishnu pujite na pare tila matra. In this way, he would simply continue to change his clothes and because of his ecstatic love, he was unable to offer any worship to Vishnu. Text 91. Seshe gadadara prati balilena vakyam tumi Vishnu puja mora nahi kase bhagyam. Eventually he told Gadadhara, you worship Vishnu, I am not fortunate enough. Text 92. Yei mata vaikuntana yaka bhakti rase viharaye navadvipe ratriye divase. In this way, the Lord of Vaikuntha was absorbed in the mellows of devotional service as he day and night enjoyed pastimes in Navadvipa. Text 93. Sri Krishna Caitanya Nityananda Chandra Jana Vrindavana Dasa Tachupada Yuga Ganam. Accepting Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Prabhu as my life and soul, I, Vrindavana Dasa, sing the glories of their lotus feet. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakayam Chakshurun Militam Yenam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaham. Namaham Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedantam Swamin Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrindam. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So the transcendental pastimes of the Supreme Lord is way beyond our comprehension. So the Lord performs different types of pastimes in different situations. And each types of his pastimes are meant for some target audience, but enjoyed eternally by some specific servants and associates. When the Lord performed his pastimes in killing of a demon, it is an education for some set of people, but the eternal associates enjoy them. When the Lord performs in protecting his devotees, definitely it gives pleasure to some set of people, and it does not give pleasure to some other set of people. But eventually, the eternal associates enjoy those pastimes. When the Lord performs pastimes of him looking after and taking care of his near and dear ones, some people are definitely pleased, some people are not pleased, but the eternal associates are always pleased. But there are circumstances where the Lord performs the pastimes and he himself completely gets overwhelmed or gets completely choked up. Meaning, he was exciting someone, he was pleasing someone, he was helping someone, he was giving joy to someone. But there are some pastimes that he is performing where he is himself, the Lord himself gets choked up. He himself gets overwhelmed. He is himself not able to handle. He himself gets completely drowned. And that types of pastimes are happening, still happening, and it is eternally happening with his most confidential associates. Where the Lord, if I can use the English word, vulnerable. That's not the right word, but I'm saying that's the easiest way to explain. The Lord show how his weakness, how his strength, how his life, how his everything is resting in the company of such confidential devotees. Meaning, he cries, he weeps, he expresses all his emotions towards those confidential devotees. The prayer is, we need Sangha of that devotees to whom the Lord expresses himself and he is getting overwhelmed in that company. We need Sangha of those people, or even we need Sangha of the servants of those people, so that we get a bit of, a portion of, an iota of love that those devotees have developed. So that is Krishna Prema. That is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's transcendental mood. This is not one time, twice, thrice. Several instances in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavata, in various circumstances, we have seen this happening between the Lord and his devotees, and the devotees between other confidential devotees. And these exchanges are not to be seen as some worldly, bodily, emotional exchanges. They are all absolutely transcendental. Even though the Lord externally makes a statement saying that, my dear Gadadhara, you do the worship, I am not qualified. We all can understand, we all can, with our limited knowledge, we still can understand what the Lord is trying to communicate, what the Lord is trying to comprehend. It is only we who will not be able to comprehend in the real sense if we are not, blessed with Bhaktivedanta purports. The Supreme Lord gets so much choked up, so much ecstatic, that ecstasy, that prema, that rasa, that epitome of, love for the Supreme Lord is what He is distributing to all of us. That is what Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura writes in the commentary to text number 91. I will read that. Madhya Khanda 25 chapter, text number 91. We were reading them, but we didn't go to the purport, but I'll read that now. Whenever Sri Gaura Sundara tried to worship Lord Vishnu according to the Pancharatrika process, he failed every time to show proficiency in the process of Archana because he was intoxicated by ecstatic love. Being repeatedly unsuccessful in worshipping the deity, he eventually entrusted the responsibility of worshipping the deity of Krishna to Sri Gadadhara Pandita. He said, I am unfortunate, I am unable to worship with proper etiquette. After Sri Gadadhara awarded the service of Sri Gopinatha, after Sri Gaura Sundara awarded the service of Sri Gopinatha to Sri Gadadhara Pandita in this pastime, Sri Gadadhara continued to worship Sri Gopinath in the forest of Tota Gopinath in Sri Purushottama Kshetra and accepted disciples according to regulative principles. As a result of worshipping the deity of the Lord for hundreds of lifetimes, a living entity develops love for chanting the holy names of the Lord. But one should not consider Sri Gadadhara as such an ordinary living entity forced to accept the fruits of his karma. Rather, one should accept him as most dear to Mahaprabhu. The instruction for chanting the holy names of the Lord, which is the ultimate fruit of deity worship, is given in Sri Gaura Sundara's Siksashtaka. Look at the way Bhaktivinoda Thakura is articulating. What I was just trying to tell a few minutes before, that loving, ecstatic emotions expressed by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which he is expressing in one limited forum, only one specific set of confidential devotees have that privilege to be part of it. We should seek such a company of those devotees or servants of those confidential devotees, so that we also get the speck of or a portion of Krishna Prema, which Krishna Prema Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is encapsulating in this Nama Sankirtana Yajna, which is what Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj is saying. So the holy name of the Lord is such a package that if you go on unpacking, if you go on chanting the holy name of the Lord and go on unpacking them, that we are the more and more and more and more we are going to go on chanting the name of the Lord in the company of Vaishnavas, in the company of the servants who have served those Vaishnavas, in whose company the Lord gets emotional, the Lord gets overwhelmed, the Lord gets completely mad in Krishna Prema, in his own Prema. And I had the good fortune of visiting a holy shrine, a holy place of such a wonderful Vaishnava 3 days before. I'm right now in a place called Madurai, but then on 17th of May, I went to a place called Srivilliputturu. That's the holy place of appearance of Andal Alvar, one of the 12 Alvars of Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya. And we had spent at most a good 3-4 hours in the house of Andal Alvar. And it is so wonderful. We were reading Andal's Tirupavai. Tirupavai is the songs, 30 songs composed by Andal in glorification of the Lord. They are all so wonderful. The emotions that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is describing over here, the transcendental feeling, the complete, what do you call this? He's not able to function. He's choked up. The Supreme Lord is choked up. The Supreme Lord is overwhelmed because of the loving devotion, the loving situation, the loving, circumstance. This is exactly what Krishna wanted to experience. Because this is what Srimati Radharani was experiencing. And this is exactly how Andal Alvar was experiencing. And in that ecstasy, she is glorifying. And all through the glorification, all the 30 songs, she is telling one important underlying thing. Chant the holy name of Lord Krishna. And in the Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, which is predominantly about Dasya Bhava, she is one personality who is exhibiting Madhurya Rasa. And she is one personality where to whom Krishna is desiring to marry and spend some time. I was hearing someone, in the afternoon. So it is said that in the case of, in typical traditional Vedic marriages, when the girl gets married, she goes to her in-laws' place and stay there. But here in Srivilliputturu, in Andal's house, it is Rangamannar, the Ranganatha Swami, who happens to be the Lord of the universe. Who is the Lord of the universe? He is coming here, marrying Andal and staying in Periyalvar's house. Periyalvar is the father of Andal Alvar. So the kind of love, ecstasy, the devotional service such great personalities exhibit attracts the Supreme Lord. I guess several weeks before, there was one pastime I shared, but I've heard different versions of those pastimes. But I'll tell you this version of the pastime that I have heard. One time, Narada Muni came to meet Ambarish Maharaj. So, Ambarish Maharaj was a very humble Vaishnava. We know him, how humble, how wonderful his humilities are, and how Ambarish Maharaj was serving the Supreme Lord using all the Navavida Bhakti put together. If it is done by one single person, that was Ambarish Maharaj. So, Narada Muni came, and Narada Muni had a book in his hand. So, Narada Muni met Ambarish Maharaj and said, "My dear Ambarish, I am very happy to see you." Ambarish Maharaj said, "My dear, Narada Muni, Namaskar, Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams." So, they had a very loving experience and said, "What is this notebook that you are having?" So, Ambarish Maharaj said, Narada Muni said, that this is a notebook that contains all the names of the devotees who are constantly remembering about the Supreme Lord. So I'm very happy to, know that your name will be in the first page itself. So Ambarish Maharaj, as humble as he is, he said, my dear Narada Muni, no. Everybody know I am an aparadi. Everybody know how I have insulted Durvasa Muni. Everybody know about myself. So I don't think my name is there. So it's just a joke. You are just pranking with me. So Narada Muni opened the book and first page, second page, third, fourth, fifth, the entire book he skimmed through, and Ambarish Maharaj's names were not there. Name was not there. So Narada Muni was surprised, and Ambarish Maharaj said, see, my dear Narada Muni, I told you, I'm a fallen soul. So then Narada Muni got confused and he said, something is wrong. So he went and, he said, I'll come back soon. He went, and few days later or few, time later, he came back. And this time he came back with another notebook. I said, Ambarish, your name is there in this book. This is a special book. Ambarish Maharaj said, my dear Narada Muni, why are you playing pranks with me? I'm a humble soul. Please bear me out. So Narada Muni said, no, your name is definitely there. And he opened the book, and the very first name was Ambarish Maharaj. So Ambarish Maharaj became a little shy and embarrassed and said, what is this book all about? He said, the book that I brought earlier contains names of all those devotees who are constantly thinking about Krishna. But this is the book that contains names of all those devotees about whom the Lord is always thinking. And how come your name, will be missing here? It is definitely there. You see, in the very first page, the very first name is your name. So, which means the Lord is constantly thinking about you. The Lord derives pleasure in thinking about you. The Lord is deriving pleasure in helping you, serving you, and being with you. And Andal Alvar is singing in her song, saying that such a Lord for whom serving, helping, associating, and trying to love his devotees. His dharma, it is his existence is for that. So hence, we are all supposed to worship such a Lord and develop our love for such a Lord. That was our request to all of us. As an Alvar, as a great devotee, she lived that life of devotion. And what is that life of devotion? That life of devotion today, the way we understand devotion is different from the way actual devotion is in terms of the descriptions that we just read, where the Lord gets ecstatic. And the layer is, it starts from Shraddha and it ends at Prema. And in this complete, elevation from Shraddha to Prema, we have different layers and different sets of activities that are happening. I will explain the layers in 4 different sections. The first section is a section where we are just, trying to develop understanding, trying to get our feet wet, you see. We're trying to know the science of devotional life. So that takes a lot of time. In that stage, in that section, we learn, we make mistakes, we try to clean our past dirtiness. So all those things that happen. And that stage, then we go to one stage next, where the stage of starting to develop some genuine, natural, loving devotion. Previously also you would have developed some loving devotion, but the second stage would have starting to develop some natural loving devotion, where we start to experience without any external force, without any external pressure, without any external impulse. We will be able to naturally perform devotional life, and that will become our natural existential activities. Then from that stage, we evolve to another stage, or by this time, by the end of stage 2, we are almost, developed some sense of surrender, and it is just not a bookish, it has developed some sort of a contagious life practices where we can't live without these practices. It is still not pure love. We still have lots of baggages to give up, but definitely we have developed some sort of affinity. And that gets further matured to the love, the real love, where I want to live my life for the Supreme Lord. And that gets further matured to the 4th stage, where the Lord wants company of such a person. Of course, this is just a translation of the 9 stages into a 4 logical stages to say that are we ready to subscribe, to come to stage 2, wherein I am definitely ready, because stage 2 the time where my life becomes centered around the services for the Supreme Lord. Stage 1, it's a knowledge stage. Stage 2 is a service stage. Stage 3 is a loving stage. Stage 4 is samadhi, or our existence in the Supreme Lord is more towards Supreme Lord wants to enjoy with us, and it is like a kind of blended arrangement of we cannot live with the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord cannot live without such a Vaishnava. Probably they are all Nitya Suris, they are all Nitya Siddhas, who are always constantly glorifying the Supreme Lord. So Krishna and all the Vaishnavas, and even in Srimad Bhagavatam, everybody is describing about this stage of developing loving service for the Supreme Lord. Today morning I was hearing Radheshyam Prabhu. So Radheshyam Prabhu was mentioning that Mother Lakshmi, when she was in Golok Vrindavan Dham, when she was in Vaikuntha Dham, she is looking so beautiful. Her ankle bells are looking very beautiful. She's dressed very beautiful. She's gorgeous. And she's having a lotus flower in one of her hands. And in her other hand, she is having brooms. And what is she doing? Using her brooms, she is cleaning the, Vaikuntha Dham, which is free from all the dirt. So she is performing devotional service. She is not able to function without performing service, because she is servant of the Supreme Lord. To that extent, it has become her inherent nature. It is explained that gopis in Golok Vrindavan Dham, they mop the floor, they clean the floor, they wipe the wall, they try to clean the place even though there are no dirts. Which means devotion is translated to service, which is actually the reflection of how much we love the Supreme Lord. And from the Supreme Lord's perspective, his reciprocation towards such a Vaishnava is he gives himself to that Vaishnava. We get to see here so many examples. Kolavecha Sridhara, Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, you can name any personalities. So from the devotees' side, they exhibit their devotion by performing dedicated, unadulterated service to the Supreme Lord, and the Lord reciprocates back to such a devotee in a very special manner, by which he likes and expresses himself to such a Vaishnava. So my point that I want to drive home here is that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is becoming emotional, is becoming ecstatic. He is not even able to perform his Archana Vidhi, because typically in Archana Paddhati, one cannot cry in the altar. One is not supposed to, shed tears or They are not supposed to, because tears, running nose, or all those things are considered unclean from the perspective of deity worship standard. Of course, when it comes to transcendental loving emotions, all these parameters are ignored. But still, the Lord is, playing dual role as an ecstatic lover. At the same time, He's trying to set a standard, saying that I won't be able to, weep and perform service to the Supreme Lord Vishnu. So, my dear Gadadhara, you please take care of this. So, I wanted to say three things from this particular context. The first thing was that what I just mentioned about in this entire stage of knowledge, service, love, and samadhi, or being transcendently situated, we are blessed. We are blessed by the blessings of Srila Prabhupada and all his followers. We are blessed with some service, some services for the Supreme Lord and his dear devotees. So somehow or other, we need to latch on to that. And with latching on to that service that comes our way, that are being given, entrusted upon us, do it in a responsible and sincere manner, wherein you will eventually be attracted by the Lord. The Lord gets attracted, drawn towards you. You don't need to worry about anything. You'll be looked after. That's the process. And when I went to Srivilliputturu, that's what I realized, when I was singing the songs of Andal Alvar. And she is saying, Teenil Tusahum, Cheppelor Embavai. By chanting the holy name of the Lord, by performing devotional service to the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, Teenil Tusahum, meaning how a dirt gets burned when you are gathering a lot of dirty things, some unwanted things, and you burn them, they get finished in few seconds. So she is saying that by just glorifying the Supreme Lord, by performing service to the Supreme Lord, these all things will get completely cleansed away very, very soon. So please take up that service. So my first aspect is all of us practicing devotees, all of us at our stage. That is why Prabhupada says, initially, our loving devotion towards Krishna is good enough to be in Dasya Bhava. We do not know to express love. We do not know to express ecstasy. We do not know to express the transcendental emotions. Even though we may be able to blabber here and there, it is safe to be in the stage of performing service as a servant, with the knowledge that I am not this body, spirit, soul. Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we need to make sure in our lives, the services that are entrusted upon us, we are empowered to perform some service. We need to know that they are our hope, they are our rope, and they are our life, because holding on to that, our devotional life is going to continue. So please note that any services that you are entrusted upon, without any I would say excuses, we should be latching onto it and try to execute them with utmost sincerity and purity, and not worried about perfection. Perfection will eventually come our way. Not that we are not supposed to execute the service perfectly. We have to do it perfectly, but the perfection here is about the intentions, right emotions, right mood. When we do that, I guess everything else will be provided. So this is the first thing that I want to share here, because the Lord is crying, the Lord is weeping, the Lord is elated only in such forum, which is very, very special. Number two is that for us to perform such a service, for us to perform such a dedicated service as a goal of life, as something. So today morning we were discussing in our Srimad Bhagavatam class, where Prahlad Maharaj is teaching his classmates. So when Prahlad Maharaj is teaching his classmates, Prahlad Maharaj is explaining a very interesting point. So Prahlad Maharaj is saying that even if somebody is, a very great Brahmana, If somebody is a very qualified Brahmana, but if he is not performing his service properly, what is the use of his Brahmana? Rather, even if somebody is a dog eater, if he performs loving devotional service to Krishna, glorify Krishna, then his life is taken care. And at that time, he is mentioning 4 things. He is mentioning 5 things actually. He is mentioning words, action, wealth, our life. I think it's 4 things. So he is mentioning somebody has to give all those 4. These are the similar 4 things that Krishna is telling to gopis in 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, when gopis were taking bath in Yamuna, when Krishna is going and playing the pastimes of stealing their cloth. He is saying, Etavat janma sapalyam dehinam iha dehishu pranair artair diya vacha shreyat acharanam sada. So what happens is that when most of us, we understood service. Most of us, we understood service as an important part of our life. Some of us are doing it also. But I want to add the rejoinder, which is my second point, so that we eventually get there to attract the Supreme Lord. So, which is what Krishna is explaining to gopis. Janma sapalyam dehinam iha dehishu pranair artair diya vacha. The similar 4 things that Prahlad Maharaj is telling his friends is what Krishna is telling. Pranair, life. Artair, wealth. Diya, intelligence. Vacha, words. Shreyat acharanam sada. The same verse has been quoted by Caitanya Mahaprabhu in Adi Khanda, 9th chapter. And Srila Prabhupada is giving a superb purport. And that time Prabhupada is explaining about the difference between Shreyas and Preyas. So we all, whilst performing service, as of now what is happening is, there is a layer of personal agenda integrated to that. Is it wrong? It's not wrong. Is it complete? Probably not. So it is good to have service when some capacity we are able to, come to the service of the Supreme Lord. But we need to learn these 2 words, Shreyas and Preyas. And Srila Prabhupada explains that Preyas means performing those activities that are temporarily beneficial. Shreyas means performing those activities that are eternally beneficial and for the society at large. One is self-centered, short-lived. Second is, eternal and universally beneficial. So as we are performing devotional service, because wherever I go, to whomever I speak, they always harp on only one thing, at least in the recent past, that your service, your japa, your service, your japa, your service, your japa, your service, your japa. Japa is for your existence properly, and service is your life for eventually attracting the Supreme Lord. So our reading, our association, our dhamvas, our travel, our everything is meant for these 2 things. I do japa to serve well. I serve well so that I can do japa nicely. By japa, I will get Krishna. By service, I will please Krishna. By pleasing Krishna, I serve Krishna. By serving Krishna, I please Krishna. And this chapter goes on and on and on. And that is how the entire rest of our existence, not only this life, but all the lives are going to be, are supposed to be. So hence, can we elevate our service attitude, purify our service attitude to make it to us absolute Shreyas service, not Preyas service, by dovetailing Pranair, Artair, Diya, Vacha. If we are able to do that, if you are able to dovetail that, if you are able to perform our activities in such a capacity that we are transcendentally situated, it is it is better. I will just read a portion from a purport from 7th canto Srimad Bhagavatam, which is going to confirm this point, what I was just mentioning, where Srila Prabhupada is explaining that this science of Krishna consciousness, which is very rare, which is very, very important. This is from 7th canto, 6th chapter. I'm not able to get the verse. Anyway, I'll get that soon. So my point is, I was trying to drive home. The second point was, can we switch from adulterated, self-centered motive to a Shreyas and transcendental motive, which is not easy, but we need to constantly keep telling us. So the idea was that by our life, by our intelligence, by the wealth, by our words, we are consciously putting an endeavor so that we are able to dovetail all of them in the service of the Supreme Lord. So that's my second reflection. And the last one, the third one, which is going to take one step further to enhance our service spirit by reducing the third one is Prabhupada writes in that purport 7.6.16 in that purport, last paragraph Srila Prabhupada is writing. I want to read that verse only today. Srila Prabhupada writes, therefore, Prahlad Maharaja advises everyone to follow the principles of Varnashrama Dharma specifically. At a certain point, one must give up family life and take the renounced order of life to cultivate spiritual knowledge and thus become liberated. And this is, of course, so what Prabhupada is trying to explain in that context was, because Prahlad Maharaj was explaining his friends how it is important that our education, oh my dear friends, sons of demons in this material world, even those who are apparently advanced in education, have the propensity to consider this is mine and that is for others. Thus, they are always engaged in providing the necessities of life to their families in a limited conception of family life, just like uneducated cats and dogs. They are unable to take to spiritual knowledge. Instead, they are bewildered and overcome by ignorance. This is 7.6.16. Prahlad Maharaj is saying to his friends. And he's saying that our so-called education, our so-called wealth, our so-called family affection should not be just limited to that of cats and dogs. Rather, one should be able to elevate their consciousness. So Prabhupada's purport was explaining these points. And in that context, he says, hence, at some point in time, we need to develop some sense of renunciation from the worldly affairs. So we started with service. We elevated the service attitude to a Shreyas service attitude, and we are adding a dimension which is like complete detachment, vairagya, and disassociation from worldly family affairs, so that there is absolute no distraction for the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. These words does not mean that we are rude to our dependents. This means that we are sensitive, sensible to our responsibilities to an extent that they are all converted, purified, or renounced either of the way, to make sure that there is no distraction in your service to the Supreme. So the third aspect is Vairagya Vidya, Nija Bhakti Yoga. So at some point in time, at some stage in life of our devotional life, we need to come to the stage of saying no, enough, and minimalistic existence for this existential life, and maximalistic or eternal agenda for serving the Supreme Lord. And typically, as grahasthas, as those who are involved in commerce, those who are involved in relationships, those who are involved in bonding, activities, we will have lots of challenges in doing this. First, we have started. Second, we will understand. The third is something very, very challenging. So I will end my presentation with a small story, which I guess in more than one instance, a similar story has happened. Once to Prabhupada, but I'll tell you a story of what happened during Ramanujacharya's time. Once Ramanujacharya was giving a class and he was praising his grahastha couple more than his brahmachari students for their service attitude. So these brahmachari students of Ramanujacharya, they were very upset and they got really, hurt, saying that we have sacrificed our comfort, we have sacrificed our life, we have sacrificed our everything, and Gurudev is appreciating this grahastha who is enjoying with his wife in his house. And they went and complained or expressed their displeasure to Ramanujacharya. Ramanujacharya did not react. Rather, he said, okay, why don't you go to that grahastha's house tonight and try to steal something, some jewelry or some wealth from their house. This brahmachari is asked, what would I gain? What would we gain by doing so, Gurudev? If these guys do it, and you will realize what I'm talking about. So that day night, these brahmacharis went to the grahastha's house, and slowly they went to Mataji, who was lying on the bed, and removed her earrings, her bangles, her payal, ankle bells. So then suddenly she started moving. So the brahmacharis were a bit frightened, thinking that she woke up and going to make a big scene. So they were freaking out and they were hiding to see, what is she going to do and how are they supposed to react. And the husband woke up and started shouting at the wife, what a stupid lady are you? You know who those devotees, who those people were? They are all our God brothers. I am sure there may be some emergency in the ashram. That is why they must have come here to take our jewelry. And you disturbed them. Probably, they got afraid and went. And looking at this, the brahmacharis were completely taken by surprise. But they were still listening to the conversation. And look at the lady's response. The Mataji said, my dear Swami, actually I was lying down in a position which would have been inconvenient for them to remove the remaining jewelry from my body. So I adjusted my body position, my sleeping position in such a capacity so that they can remove the remaining jewelry also from me. And this brahmachari really got emotional. I said that, oh my God, what a kind of an attitude, tendency. This is one story. Same thing has happened to Srila Prabhupada. When Srila Prabhupada met Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, when Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj was giving a lot of time to Srila Prabhupada, all the other God brothers, they were complaining, why are you giving so much importance to this grahastha? You all know the story. Third, a similar story happened to Prabhupada's student. His name is Shettiji. I've shared that story also before you all. When Shettiji came to meet Srila Prabhupada in Mumbai, Prabhupada has just completed all the, formalities and all the drama for construction of Radha Ras Bihari got over, and Srila Nair passed away, and all the issues of Juhu temple got almost sorted out. Srila Prabhupada wanted to start the construction of Shri Radha Ras Bihari temple. At the time, Shetty ji and his wife, they both were sitting in front of Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada said, so I want to construct a beautiful temple for Rasa Bihari ji, Radha Rasa Bihari. I do not know from where I will start, how I will start, how I'm going to raise funds. So I'm not so sure. So as Prabhupada was speaking, Shetty ji's wife, what she did was she removed her earrings, she removed her bangles, she removed all the jewelries, she put them in her handkerchief, tied them, and gave it to Srila Prabhupada and said, Swamiji, please accept this. This is our first offering for Radha Ras Bihari. And Radha Ras Bihari temple construction started. Shetty ji, still there were some, anti-social elements who were disturbing the temple construction. So Shetty ji had instructed his team, no point in time this construction should stop. I will see to that this construction is never stopped. He stood in front of the construction gate with a gun in his hand. So let me see anybody who is having audacity to come and stop the construction of Radha Ras Bihari temple. He was a contractor, so he was staying there to make sure that the project is never stopped. And every day before going home, Shetty ji went and met Srila Prabhupada and gave the daily report. So one particular day, Shetty ji did not want to go because his body was full of dirt from the construction. So he wasn't sure, should I go, not go, go, not go. He was in two minds, but finally he went to meet Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada was behind his desk doing some writing. And he saw Shetty ji head to toe fully dirt. Srila Prabhupada, before even Shetty ji started giving his report, so Shetty ji, you are working pretty hard to make temple for Radha Rasa Bihari ji and our Vaishnavas to live. For the service that you are rendering, I will assure you, you will get a permanent place to live in Goloka Vrindavana Dham. Shetty ji was sharing this. I personally witnessed his sharing and he was weeping. This was in 2002, Srila Prabhupada's disappearance anniversary in Vrindavan Dham. The 25th Silver Jubilee disappearance celebration of Srila Prabhupada in Vrindavan. There were 4 days of Prabhupada Katha. So on the last day, he was sharing this pastimes. We were all, myself, Braja Hari Prabhu and few other devotees, we were all sitting in the road, we were all weeping. He was crying, everybody was crying. And he made a profound statement after that. He said, I was, after all, a contractor. And as a contractor, I just did some service, small, menial services, to which Srila Prabhupada assured me a permanent place in Goloka Vrindavan Dham. But you guys, all of you sitting here, you go for Mangalarati, you chant 16 rounds, you practice devotional service. What not you will get. And you all blessed soul, like that he said and started crying. So like that, we can give more and more examples. Krishna gives an example of Janaka Maharaj. So to conclude my third reflection or third point of learning, I want to mention that when you are performing service, which is of Shreyas, can we also develop the sense of Vairagya and detachment, disassociation from our worldly, family, and our personal comfort, and eventually lead a life of absolute surrender and dedication, only focused on serving the Supreme Lord and with no other agenda. So which is why that our services mature when we eliminate the agenda for us. But that is not possible on day one. But slowly, we do service only to please Krishna, not for anything in return. Only to please Krishna, only to please Krishna, only to please Krishna. And in the process, I slowly disassociate from my worldly comforts, disassociate from my worldly identities, upadhis, disassociate from my worldly attachments, which will help me develop the Krishna prema that is spoken about. So, even though Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has exhibited transcendental loving emotions, which is uncomprehendable by a normal context, we were trying to understand how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exhibiting such emotions in very private forums. So those Vaishnavas, those transcendental associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they are distributing their love, and we are blessed to have association of devotees who had association with such people. Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, they are all literal associates. And we are in touch with devotees who have been in touch with them. So I guess when we are going to take care of our part bit correctly, I'm sure that we will be able to also experience the transcendental loving devotion that is expected of us. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Chaitanya Bhagavat ki jai, Samavetta Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Nitaya Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. If there are any questions, comments, or reflections, I'll be happy to respond.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. What a wonderful class, Prabhuji. So, very nice with all the kathas. Initially, you started with the book which Narada Muni brought, and I think there is a similar conversation between Narada Muni and Narayana. Means like with the book conversation. So, Narada Muni will go to Vaikuntha, and Narayana will be having the book, and he will ask, what is the book, is it this one? And he will say, these are my favorite devotees book, something like that. So there is a conversation like that also. So I just got reminded of that, Prabhuji. So thank you so much for, and the takeaway is like we have to do the service without any attachment to the service. So just to please the Lord. So thank you so much, Prabhuji. So dear devotees, any questions or realizations? Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you so much for the very beautiful class. Really was meditating on a few points that you mentioned. First and foremost thing, how the devotion of Andal actually attracts the Lord's attention, and even that story that you mentioned where the Lord is thinking of Ambarish, and similarly the Lord is ready to come and live with Andal, leaving everything. So that kind of devotion we should definitely aspire for, and also adding the Shreyas component in our devotion. And the very interesting story of Shetty was very, very nice. How much assurance the devotee and Krishna gives for the little devotion that we do. So thank you so much, Prabhu. Very inspiring and hope-giving. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, always, Prabhupada.
Thank you, Mataji. Devotees, any more questions or realizations? Okay, so Prabhuji, there is a request.
If anybody knows Tamil,
sorry. No, I just wanted to say there is a request.
If anybody can read or speak Tamil, please get hand of Tirupavai. I'm not that, maybe it is just because I'm recently experienced it. It was so wonderful. So I think Haridas did some session with all of you regarding
he's still
it's still going on, huh?
Yes,
Prabhu.
Oh,
I think
wow.
scheduled
How many songs is over?
I think for now, how much?
15
13 over.
13.
1-3. Yeah. So that's really a very wonderful session also. We are relishing that session. So Prabhuji, we don't have any more questions, but there is a request in the chat box. asking that to sing a bhajan.
Okay.
Sing Tirupavai, Prabhu.
Really?
Yes.
You should ask, Haridas to also sing. I'll tell him he should sing. I can sing couple of Tirupavai. I can sing at least 4 or 5. But
Yeah, that's enough. Yeah.
I'll sing only one. I'll not sing 4 or 5.
Prabhu, at least first three. First three are prominent, at least first.
Jai. Okay. Okay, all of you non-Tamil speakers, please forgive, but at the same time you can enjoy. Anyway, we are not Bengalis also. We sing Bengali. So we are not Marathi sing abang. So like that, we are singing this. So I will try to. That day I was in Srivilliputtur. It was so nice sitting in Andal's house singing this. Was giving a lot of. I remembered all my childhood days, all the days where my father used to take me for bhajans, and we used to glorify the Supreme Lord. I'll sing the first one, and I'll sing a couple of other, Tirupavai. மார்கழி திங்கள் மதி நிறைந்த நன்னாளால் நீராட போதுமினோ நேரிழையீர் சீர்மல்குமாய் பாடி செல்வ சிறுமீர்கள் கூர்வேல் கொடுந்தொழிலன் நந்தகோபன் குமரன் ஏரார்ந்த கண்ணீர் யசோதை இளம் சிங்கம் கார்மேனி செங்கண் கதிர்மதியம் போல் முகத்தான் நாராயணனே நமக்கே பறை தருவான் பாரோர் புகழ படிந்தேலோரெம்பாவாய். I'll sing one more, which is my favorite. சிற்றம் சிறு காலே வந்துன்னை சேவித்து உன் பொற்றாமரை அணியேன் போற்றும் பொருள் கேளாய் பெற்றோமே துள்ளும் குலத்தில் பிறந்து நீ குற்றேவலங்களை கொள்ளாமல் போகாதே இற்றை பறை கொள்வான் அன்று காண் கோவிந்தா எற்றைக்கும் ஏழு பிறவிக்கும் முந்தனோடு உற்றோமே ஆவோம் உமக்கே நாம் செய்வோம் மற்றையம் காமங்கள் மாற்றேலோர் எம்பாவாய். The last one. வங்க கடல் கடைந்த மாதவனை கேசவனை திங்கள் திருமுகத்து சேழியார் சென்றிரைஞ்சி அங்க பறை கொண்ட ஆற்றை அணி புதுவை பைங்கமல தந்தெரியல் பட்டபிரான் கோதை சொன்ன சங்க தமிழ் மாலை 30 தப்பாமே இங்கு இப்பரிசுரை பார் ஈரிரண்டு மால்வரை தோள் செங்கண் திருமுகத்து செல்வச்சி திருமாலால் எங்கும் திருவருள் பெற்று இம்புருவெம்பாவாய். கோதை பிறந்த ஊர் கோவிந்தன் வாழுமூர் சோதிமணி மாடம் தோன்றுமோர் நீதியார் நல்ல பக்தர் வாழுமோர் நான் மறைகள் தோறுமோர் வில்லிபுத்தூர் வேத கோணோர் பாதகங்கள் தீர்க்கும் பரமனடி காட்டும் வேதமனைத்திற்கும் வித்தாகும் கோதை தமிழை ஏந்தும் அறியாத மானிடரை வையம் சுமப்பதும் வம்பு திருவாடிப்பூரத்து ஜெகத்துதித்தால் வாழியே திருப்பாவை முப்பதும் செப்பினார் வாழியே பெரியாழ்வார் பெற்றெடுத்த பெண் பிள்ளை வாழியே பெரும்புதூர் மாமனுக்கு பின்னானாள் வாழியே 143 உரைத்தார் வாழியே உயரரங்கர் கேதன் உகந்தளித்தார் வாழியே மறுவாரம் திருவள்ளி வடநாடு வாழியே வன்புதுவை நகர் கோவில் மலர்பதங்கள் வாழியே ஆண்டாள் திருவடிகளே போற்றி போற்றி. Hare Krishna. This is about the song glorifying the Supreme Lord written by Andal Alvar, and the last bit of it was glorifying Andal. I'm sure Haridas would have explained the meaning of some of them, and I sang the Psalm 129 and 30 and the portion of glorifying about Andal Alvar. For those of you who would have not understood Tamil, the sum and substance is Andal is simply repeating what Krishna, what the Srila Prabhupada is explaining about Panchanga Bhakti. She is simply saying, chanting Bhagavatam, Bhagavata, Holy Dham, and deity worship, and she is repeatedly saying this, the benefit of them, in every shloka. Of course, she's adding all sorts of emotions and so many layers of love that she has with the Supreme Lord. I'm sure Bhakti Sangha will emulate, bring out all those devotional sentiments within all of you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Andal Alvar ki jai, Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Grace Ramgiridhari Prabhu ki jai. Very beautiful.
Jai. Jai. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. What a wonderful singing about Tirupave. That was really relishing to hear. Even I also got remembered of my childhood, where my mother every morning, she wakes up early morning and she puts that, what is it? They put that column, right, in the entrance.
Rangoli.
So big column she will put. So very nice. I just got remembered.
Thankfully, Sugasagari
Rangoli.
Mataji is not there. She will find 25 mistakes in my singing by my not keeping the proper swaras and meters and things. I hope she doesn't listen and scold me that.
I was actually looking if her name is there so that she could assist you.
She could find fault and whack after me saying that, Prabhu, you're singing wrong tune, wrong raga, wrong swara.
I know. I just learned one with Guruji Sukhsagari Mataji, and I gave up at the end of the day that I'm not going to sing anymore.
But actually, it is we can make it very simple meter and simply sing them. But because you speak Tamil, some of the meanings are so wonderful. Teenil tusam. I mean, at the moment I hear, 2 drops of tears come, because we have not done anything great, but just because of such a blessings from such great personalities, we are able to enjoy the transcendental, loving emotions. Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, if there are no more thoughts, questions, we can end here.
Yeah, thank you so much. You had a very, very wonderful class and very wonderful singing and very wonderful discussion about Tirupave and Andal Nachiyar. Thank you, Prabhuji. Day duties, let's pay our obeisances to Prabhuji. One check out with Rupesha. Kripa
Sindhubevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo
Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai.
Vaishnavrinda
Shri
ki jai.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Ramgiridhari Prabhuji
Prabhuji
ki
ki
jai.
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 Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you
Dhanwad
so much, Prabhuji.
Satya